So what are we realistically aiming for in Paris?
I would never go into Olympic Games having of expect anything less than a gold medal. With sevens, anything can happen.
You got to go for gold.
I also love that there was a line ahead of playing New Zealand in the World Cup, Jazz, when you were asked about Ruby. When you were asked who's faster, you or her. What did you say?
I said me.
She said,
Truth.
Oh, no.
she'd say me. I'd say me.
Go, Jazz Joyce.
Speaking of
that's
personality, I think we've got a winner.
Oh, we have to. This is peak our Emily Scarra.
It's just Pete. Pete.
I do look like a Pete. I do look like a Pete.
What's your surname?
Maspero.
Did we know that? Did we?
Did you think Capelma was my surname?
Yes.
Elma Capelma.
The Good, the Scaz, and the Rugby in partnership with Vodafone is back for episode 17 of series 4. Who knew it? We're still going. I love that for us. We're back at home in our studio this week. Scaz and Mo, it's Bring a Friend to Work Day today. And they've each brought a friend. It's so nice of you to bring us Abbie Brown and Joyce-Butchers. Welcome.
Oh, well remembered.
I
would
have
got that wrong,
Yeah, no. I like it.
It's Joyce-Butchers, not Butchers Joyce.
No, perfect, like you did it.
Like
Joyce
I did
Butchers,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
How much discussion did that take?
Not a lot.
Okay.
Not a lot. No. Yeah.
The passport isn't actually changed though, is it?
No, passport hasn't changed, which means I can't then have it on my jersey because I have to change it on my passport. It has to be an official name. I was like, oh, well, I've got a marriage certificate. Is that not enough? And they said no. I was like, oh, I am married though. But that's not enough. Yeah, just.
It's another story for later, I think.
So they're not only here because they are friends of Mo and Scaz's, it's also because they're a GB7s duo, and we have been threatening to have this Sevens show for the longest time. Abbie made her England 15s debut while she was still at college because, I mean, overachieving. That's how we go. In the 2015 Six Nations, she made her Olympic debut based at age 20 in Rio. And she just hasn't looked back since. In case you have not heard the Jazz Joyce-Butchers episode when she was just Jazz Joyce, she has been on the show before. Go find that one. It's her first time visiting us on set in the big house. She's got tons of tribute videos. I mean, I'm sure you've watched these by now. There's Jazz Joyce's try-saving tackles, Jazz Joyce's tries.
Too many.
Jazz Joyce's devastating pace. I mean,
Is that what they're actually titled?
Jazz Joyce's Stop, Put the Ball Down and Go Again.
Yeah.
That is your favourite.
Jazz Joyce doing anything. I swear other people do stuff on that pitch.
Yeah. I mean, she's not the only player there, but we do love a little Jazz Joyce highlights reel. Plays in the 15s game for Wales, GB7s. And just like Abbie made her Olympic debut at the ripe old age of 21. That is unbelievable. There are people who spend their entire lives trying to become an Olympian, and you guys both did it at a very tender age, which we definitely need to get into. Good to be back with the Sevens program after the Six Nations, Jazz.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I love playing 15s, playing for Wales, but especially with it being such a big year, Paris and Olympics, it's definitely where I want to be finishing off the back end of the season, yeah.
We are recording this episode in the past, just for reference for everybody. We need to just put this on record. So there will be some references here that are a little more out of date. Abbie, you've had your operation on your shoulder. How long are we now post-op?
4 months. 4 months post-op. So looking good for Madrid.
How has that rehab process been for you?
Yeah, it's been up and down, as kind of I think most injuries are. It was my first surgery in my career, which is pretty crazy. Which was sorry. Touch wood, everyone touch wood.
Everyone's just touching all of the wooden surfaces they can here now.
And yeah, it was completely fine, really. It's kind of more plain sailing than my other injuries. I've had lots of hamstring injuries, so it was actually like I said, there was ups and downs with it, but kind of on target to where I needed to be, getting back to, and just grateful that I could be back on the pitch now.
Do you know who's going?
Yes.
Madrid.
I don't think it's like a big secret, is it?
No.
Oh, so it's not.
We're both going.
Yeah. Is it embargo though?
I don't know. We don't really have much media.
When do you travel? It'll be out by next Thursday.
We don't really have a media person, so
you'll be in Madrid.
All over our Instagram.
Social media will be bikini pics of you lot enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah.
Not so much me and you.
Yeah.
Tough gig.
Yeah. You might not see us in bikinis,
No.
but
No.
you see our foreheads maybe.
Go Monday.
Why would you not be in bikini pics?
It's just not a bit of us, is it? Oh God, no. Oh no.
Oh, just
Maybe
not
I'll
that.
do one. Maybe
You're
I'll
not
do
into
one.
the thirst trapping?
Thirst trapping.
We've learnt a lot about that recently.
Thirst trapping.
I don't think Jasmine knows what that
Jazz,
is.
no.
Jazz,
Sorry, I was just
what
laughing, and I actually need to know what it is.
What do you think? If you had to guess.
Thirst trapping. So if someone's in a bikini, you're like dribbling.
Are you?
I'm not.
You're
very
very married.
That would be what I'd think. But no, I guess.
One would.
One would, not me.
Fine, no, so not that.
Theoretically. So thirst
Pretty much.
thirst trapping is when you're posting your bikini pics so that other people are.
I think it's not really to do with the dribbling. Don't ignore the dribbling.
Sorry, the adult likeness. Yeah.
Okay, but like this.
Just imagine Jazz sat on her Instagram like, ooh, that's a bit of it.
So I'm thinking of my dog because it's thirst, and she dribbles when she's thirsty.
Yeah, right.
Do with your dog.
Bring your little dog into it. Save it.
Animalistic tendencies. There we go.
Save it with Nala.
This, where have we
Next.
gone?
Next question, please. Who is your whole boss?
Wait, do you know what that is?
No. I didn't know I had to then answer because I was like, I was no answer.
She's from croissants. Leave her alone. Yeah.
Oh, come on, best guess. What does it sound
Whole
like?
pass.
Yeah.
A get out. Someone I'd ring to have a whole get me out of trouble.
Oh, I like
That's
that.
actually quite good.
Oh, that's
That's
really
nice.
Nice,
wholesome.
innocent
Who'd you ring?
answer. Who would you ring?
Who would it? My dog Nala.
You'd ring your dog
Yeah.
to get you out of trouble.
Yeah, because she'd be there then. He'd be like, oh,
You can't ring your dog.
We've lost Scaz.
because it's easy conversation start.
I know, but like ring.
Get you out of trouble.
yeah, no, yeah, but it depends on what trouble, isn't it?
Yeah,
Fair.
true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most of the time, 100%.
That's not what a hall pass is, though.
No,
No.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so a hall pass is it's not cheating if it's with this one person.
Oh,
So you
got
agree
you.
it with your partner
Fine.
that this is my hall pass.
Got you.
Free pass.
Do you want to know mine?
Yes.
Amelia Kunis or Channing Tatum.
She's not called Amelia.
No.
She's
Mila.
Mila.
Oh, did you say Mila Kunis?
Yes.
Amelia.
I thought you said Amelia.
Amelia.
Mila Kunis. Did I say Amelia? Not Amelia. No, that's not agreed. Sorry.
Ashton Kutcher's
Mila.
wife.
That's
Yeah.
not agreed, but Mila is.
Yeah.
Come at me, Mila.
Or Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum with or without hair?
Without, I think.
See.
Yeah. Bald.
Wasn't there something funny mentioned around a hall pass of yours over there, Elma, recently?
Why are you
Yeah.
not whole
It's a-
pass?
I've not seen her like this.
You getting shy?
Oh my goodness.
So
Bring your cat. Bring your cat.
Yeah, so I've got my friendly Shira cat. If you're listening, we have a little friendly cat here next to me on the set. It's not a real
Stop
cat.
deflecting, please
Yeah.
carry on.
Yeah.
So we
Thinking
talked
cat,
about
thinking
hall
cat.
passes, and we do need to still have the rest of the hall pass conversation because this is a developing story. And then Donna Rose keeps on thinking that I'm flirting with her.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Does she think this a lot of the time?
Yeah, she thinks everyone fancies her, so yeah.
Okay.
That would
I
make
kept,
sense.
I kept on saying, Donna, I'm really this nice to everyone. And she's like, I've watched this pod, you're not.
I love the confidence from her.
Brilliant.
And then I said, but Donna, I like my men bald. And she was like, well, I can get some clippers.
She's half bald.
I mean, we could go there. And then someone commented on our YouTube channel and said, does this mean that John Mitchell is Alma's hall pass? And I would like to not
And your
confirm
answer to the question
I would
is-
like to not deny or confirm any of this.
Yeah.
But
Ooh,
I do have a type. Jason Statham, Channing Tatum without
Yeah,
hair,
nice.
Bruce Willis.
Okay.
There is a trend there. I don't know if I can
Age doesn't come into it then.
I don't mind. I don't mind older
Just a
men.
bald man. Bald man.
Just a bald man.
Pretty much.
Sorry, why are all the men in the office searching for clippers right now?
It doesn't take much, you know. Like I just really like to see a lot of skin. I don't know.
Fair enough. On the head or?
That escalated quickly.
It has spiraled. Speaking of the things we've been asking for,
Here we go.
We need to put a stop to it.
it's getting out of
Like,
hand.
which camera? It's a plea. We love you all to pieces, but please stop bringing Scaz croissants and massive
Basically,
cakes.
just stop spending all your money.
Yeah,
Not all
we
your
love
money,
you
but please.
and we appreciate you, and we will come and see you whether you have treats or not. So just don't bring them.
Unless it's a Defender, then please bring it.
The
Yeah.
Land Rover is still very much on the table. Yeah.
Probably more so for Mo because she needs it more than Scaz.
And then where
But-
did you get the 12 croissants, of which 2 were for Mo?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about that. 12 and 2.
know,
I get a
that's-
6.
They're in a pack of 4s as well.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Give me a pack at
Oh, yeah.
least. God,
You get half a pack.
Abbie Brown, I didn't need to know
So
that.
I was doing a community appearance the other night at my old rugby club, Leicester Forest, and at the end, this lovely girl who was Tom's daughter, who's one of the main coaches there, does a lot with the girls section, brought over these 3 packs of 4 croissants, and I was like, oh, thank you so much, like, that's super kind, they listen to the podcast, love it, blah 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 blah. And then she made a point of going, 10 are for you, 2 are for Mo. So of the 12 croissants, only 2 are for Mo.
I had a slight issue with it, and I have more of an issue with it now because they were in 3 packs. So 1 for Scaz, 1 for Mo, 1 for Elma. That seems fair.
Look, I just passed in on the message.
Favouritism kills me.
But thank you very much. They were Tesco finest as well.
Oh,
Have you eaten any?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's
Anyway.
At this stage, the nutritionist for England is, you're going to be in trouble.
But this is also part of the plea. I've got a lot of bars of Milky Bar, a lot of croissants. It's probably not the thing.
12 croissants, 2 cakes. I mean, at this stage,
Yeah.
just a lot of carbs happening there over by your house.
Yeah.
It is the cutest thing, and it was actually
is
so
adorable.
hilarious for a little while, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
if this happens every game, maybe first England game is the only one that you play now. See what happens there, and then after that, no more, please.
Do you call it a community appearance when you go out and see the people in the public?
No, sorry. It was only called that. Shira just scribbled that on your iPad. Haven't you? She has, hasn't she? She has, I know it. No, basically, as part of our Red Roses contract.
No, this isn't true.
Shut up.
That's not true.
Yeah, it's
Carry on.
Community something. You're winding me up. She's having my line.
You sound like the royal family. We're going to do a community
Yeah.
appearance.
Anywhere other
Do
than
you-
her mum and dad's house is
Yeah.
a community appearance.
Do they bring you? Do people bring you like little bunches of flowers and then do they curtsy when the Beyonce of
I'm
rugby
being
comes
done over
to
here.
town?
That's literally what the title of the email is. I swear to God.
No, it actually is.
Yeah.
Go on, carry on.
Basically, as part of our Red Roses contracts, we've all been paired up with a club that either is close to our heart because we used to play there or close to us geographically.
Mm.
So obviously mine is my first club. Yours was your first club, Drybrook. So it's literally called a community appearance, but I do understand how that now sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we just needed to clarify that. Speaking of being paired up, we had the hall pass conversation at a bit of a rugby union writers club lunch the other day, and your friend Sarah Hunter was there.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
We explained the hall pass to her. This was the wildest pairing I've ever heard of.
Oh, God.
Who did she say?
Who do you think?
Oh.
Give us a guess. Wild guess. Think left field.
Rugby or not rugby?
Not rugby at all. Think entertainment mainstream.
For Santa.
Yeah.
She said this name. As
Yeah.
in she
Alan
knew.
Shearer.
We were like, you've got 5 minutes. Alan Shearer.
He's from the north.
Links.
Peter Andre.
We did see him live though, didn't we, that time? He did enjoy it.
Simon Cowell.
Oh, that's
Are you serious?
That was our response.
what about him?
Well, that we couldn't figure this out either.
Did she explain?
She was like, guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure.
Sarah, no, I'm coming for you.
Nah, I'm not happy about that.
That is wild. I was like, was he ever a heartthrob in any part of the
No,
world?
he's looked the exact same for the last 20 years.
Maybe that's it.
Maybe she just loves
Has he
that
got a
black.
symmetrical face? People
Maybe
find
it's
that
that
quite
black
attractive.
t-shirt jean combo. She's really
the mix.
The high
big.
waist
Yeah.
jeans.
Doesn't
Bright
he-
white teeth.
Steady on.
Maybe it's the business, not the looks.
Oh, the
Ooh.
business.
The
Like
cash.
business
You're
end
saying
of
the
it.
cash.
Yeah. So she fancies that rather than
The
the way
power.
he looks. Yeah.
Also,
Let's
that,
hope so.
also
Well,
that
yeah.
he's like, isn't he a bit of a rude person? Like, isn't that his claim to fame?
Yeah.
I think he's softened in time.
Oh, he
You
did.
know him, do you, Mo?
Who's your mate?
Spend some time with him.
Comes
some
over
PR
for Christmas.
Just, you know, on
Comes
like
to the
Britain's
forest.
Got Talent and that. Like he presses the buzzers more, the golden buzzer. You know, is that still a thing?
I don't know. Don't watch it.
No,
Yeah, it
okay.
does.
Yeah.
Just watches
It is.
yours.
Is there a sevens? If you had to pick a hall pass from the whole of the sevens fraternity,
Oh wow!
What, players?
yeah.
Sorry, I'm opting out of that.
Oh, you're like, I don't need to get in this kind of trouble.
Hugo Keenan, really excited to see him come back.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah.
nice.
Don't
Nice.
fancy him.
Is he coming
Just-
to sevens?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
Sick.
It's
Actually-
reported, isn't it? I don't know. Is
Yeah.
it been officially announced? Not
Again,
sure.
yeah, reported, but I genuinely think he's
Jazz's
amazing.
sources say Hugo Keenan.
I saw that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I
Is a
think-
Go.
He'd be really good.
Yeah, well, he came from sevens originally. Used to
Did
play
he?
for them. Yeah,
I did a reading on the way
He's-
here.
Yeah.
His work rate is
It's a joke.
unbelievable.
Unreal.
yeah.
Very exciting.
Do you guys? So you guys are of an you were already quite established in the sevens when they came through, right? Both of you, Scaz Mo,
Ish.
we're ish.
Yeah.
Were you more senior? Just a little
Probably,
bit.
yeah. I guess so.
At that time, we were doing a lot of flip flopping, so no one was really like the sevens
Committed.
squad. But it was like the year, obviously, Olympic year, pre-Olympic
Mm.
year, where it was like we're back playing sevens. So
Yeah.
yeah, we were, and we
So I
were the
think-
first guys to go professional that
Mm.
year before these guys joined.
Yeah.
And then when they came in, what was your impression of Jazz and Abby?
Sorry, I couldn't catch, so maybe not much.
And I was like a
Good.
stick, so.
Skinny.
Yeah, I just remember you had to basically dead bug and be on a cross trainer for ages, didn't you?
Yeah, I had back
Because
issues.
of your back.
But still have back issues. so-
Every morning we'd walk into SSP and you'd come around the corridor and you'd like see a few people, and every morning you walked in, Abby was walking towards the pool
Honestly,
with her
doing
little
extras.
flotation device, because
God.
every morning she had to go and do the
Extras from the get go.
Young.
Yeah.
That was
I
young.
I
Yeah.
actually
Back
remember the
issues.
first person I ever saw was Mo. She gave me a big hug because I got there 2 hours early.
Keen bean.
It was like triage. The like medical slots start at say 8 and like 8 till 9. Most people just rocked up like 10 to 9. I rocked up at like 7:30 just to like be early. And then it was like Mo just gave me a big hug and I was like, so have I got to go?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, that's
First thing I remember.
That's cute, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a cute thing to remember.
And,
Sorry.
Bum.
Nervous.
Nervous.
No, joking.
She always talks
And do you remember your first day in the system, Jazz?
Yeah, we were like half an hour late.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Heather Fisher and Marley Packer clapping me down the stairs with another Welsh girl.
Were they?
No, didn't know them, clapping me down. So yeah, I remember it quite vividly.
Oh my goodness.
It was
We
horrendous.
really got thrown at the deep end, didn't we?
I did. We
Mm.
did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What's
No,
Stairs?
it's okay. Say
Yeah, I'm
again.
sorry
What
too.
stairs?
You know, we used to do it in like the
squash court
the
bit.
squash court,
Mm.
and then
Down
you'd walk
there.
down there.
Yeah.
What, and they started clapping you?
Yeah.
Oh
Me
my
and it was me and Laurie Harris, who was the other Welsh girl in the programme then.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Really sorry.
It got better. It got better.
Eventually.
Made us who we are
Eventually.
today.
But I did go through the phrase where I didn't want to be there.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's okay.
And now look
That's
at you.
really hard.
Now look at me. Now
Thriving.
that wouldn't bother me. Do you know what
We
I mean?
were so young though, weren't we? And like
So
the
young.
group we came into had already been there for like 2 years.
How old were you?
20.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, yeah, no,
Mm.
Well,
19.
what year younger
19,
wouldn't have
yeah.
been, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and we came in, the group had already kind of formed. Like you had
Mm.
such big names in that group, and we were just. I
It was
don't know,
basically
just-
the same squad, wasn't it? From
Yeah.
the 2013 World Cup. So we were playing together from. Like I was in that set from 2010. You were 2009. So most of the girls were before that. So
And
Yeah.
because we'd flip flopped, it was like the group that played sevens
Mm.
went back to 15s, played
Mm.
15s, went back to
Mm.
sevens. So
Yeah.
it was quite a. It must have been a tight group, but
yeah. And then
yeah.
we came in just
It is-
buzzing to
it's-
be there. Like, what's going
but,
on?
Yeah.
but hearing things like that, it's a real. It kind of makes you reflect, and I can't necessarily remember those times,
No.
but it's not obviously the nicest thing to hear when you were part of a program and people came in and didn't actually want to be there.
But I guess if, like, say, like a couple of months later, then it was fine. But I think
Mm.
it was
Your
now that
first
wouldn't be
day.
an issue because. But then I guess that's some people the way people joke. Like I would do that now to people I knew, but I guess if you didn't know someone, you wouldn't do that, would you? So yeah.
It was also obviously the first time that we'd been a
Wales.
GB.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
like Jazz and Laurie came in,
Two Scots.
Meg and
Steph.
Steph Johnson came in. So it was like that first coming together of these nations.
And it's-
Whereas, and we'd been England, we'd been full time as England.
Well, also it was first Olympics, wasn't it, as well? So like
Oh, yeah.
there, it was so much competition, and it was almost like, yeah, he's going to welcome you with open arms. Not really in that kind
Mo.
of way. Yeah.
No.
Mo
Except
wins.
for Mo.
Mo wins.
Mo did. Yes,
Of
Mo.
course, Mo was that
Mm.
person.
It was really nice, actually. Yeah.
I love that. I think that it is really important to reflect on these experiences, though, because when you guys now play more senior roles in team setups, you remember what that felt like and what that experience and the impact of that. And as you say, as the two Welsh girls, you're in the minority there. You know, you really just want to also compete and show that you've got something that you can contribute to a team. How old were you when you became captain, Abbie?
20 as well. Yeah. It was crazy. So it was that year after Olympics. So did literally one season on the Sevens circuit, and then that September or August, whenever we came back in, loads of people went back to 15s. And Bale sat me down and was like, we want you to captain. I was just like,
whoa, that's actually
you're
crazy.
joking. It's mad, isn't it?
20.
How was that time for you? Because we all, pretty much all of the squad went, and it was just you on a full-time contract, wasn't it? On your own, basically.
How was that? It's a really good question. It was tough. It was hard. We actually didn't do great in terms of like performance. Like everyone's on part-time, people coming in, people weren't coming in. You know, we had a load of new people who just came from 15s, and it was like, right, how do we play rugby? And obviously trying to captain a side that I had no idea. Obviously, I think
also being part-time as well, you don't have the contact time like every other squad, I guess, isn't it? Like,
no. And like kind of, I guess I learned so much from personally that year of being like, okay, this is how someone else did it before, I need to be like this. I was like, oh, that's not really like me. And I got so many things wrong in that year of just actually what I need to do as a person to captain this side. But yeah, it was
look at you now.
Crazy. Still
Still not a clue.
God, I still can't get it. Still making mistakes. On a part-time program.
Well, yeah.
But I think that's really huge that you took on that challenge and that you were just learning on the run, you know, just kind of figuring it out and piecing the puzzle together with almost no blueprint and almost no structure around you. That must have been like, that's huge. At such a young age, you must have matured so quickly.
Yeah, I think I definitely did. And I just had to kind of, I guess grow up. Very quickly, and just kind of people kind of asked me certain questions and it almost put me in a situation where I was like, okay, I have to find this answer, or I'm a bit of a fixer. So actually it just made me do more things like that. I guess I kind of learned quite quickly.
And then in Rio in 2016, you guys were all there. And you finished 4th, right?
The mighty 4th.
Yeah, we love a 4th.
We love 4th.
We used to love a plate, and now we love a 4th.
Yeah.
Is there anything worse at an Olympics than to just fall outside of medaling?
I genuinely think finishing last would have been the same. Do you get what I mean? Like,
as how you felt.
Yeah. Finishing 4th. Would I prefer to be knocked out in the quarters? Quarters was class, to be fair.
That in Tokyo.
Yeah.
The other thing you have to remember, not to jump too far forward, but these 3 were also in Tokyo and also finished 4th.
Yeah.
So they've doubled up.
But it's not going to be a third time.
No.
At Olympic Games.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because actually winning a quarter-final was the best feeling ever.
That USA game in Tokyo, that was the best game ever.
But then
played,
losing in a semi and a bronze is like...
I think it's the being so close bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like if you do come last, there's a lot of moments in a lot of games that you're like, oh, we messed that up. Whereas when you lose a semi-final and then you lose a 3rd, 4th, it's like 28 minutes of your life and you're like, I wish we could have just...
Did it?
I think as well in Rio, we'd smashed Canada, didn't we, in the pool games, and we were like, yeah, sweet. And then they literally end up smashing us. And we were like, how has this just happened?
How did we just do this?
And like you said, it's 14 minutes of your life.
That was actually 10 minutes each way.
Was it?
My God.
I don't think
when
No, that was only finals.
It was because none of us knew that it was going to be 10 minutes each way.
Semi-final was 10?
And then we got told after the semi that it was 3rd, 4th. It was 10 minutes each way, and we were all like, oh my God. And I think that threw us a little bit.
I agree.
Because they should have just
remember that.
not told us and just carried on playing. You wouldn't have known,
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Because in sevens, that it doesn't sound like a lot, but in sevens, that's doubling the duration of a half.
Yeah. Well, sometimes halves do go overrun anyway.
Yeah.
So we had one of the first games of the season. It was like 10 minutes long anyway. So and that was like a pool game. So yeah.
I think it's something I always struggled with sevens is that it's so short. Yes, it's exhausting. That wasn't where I was going. Yes, I was never fit enough for it, but no, not what I was going to say. It was the fact that like it can be really fickle sometimes. So like one game you play Canada, everything sticks. You beat them by 15 points. The next time, everything doesn't stick and you lose by 15 points, and it's the same team, it's the same players, and a lot of stuff feels the same. But that is sevens, whereas in 15s you have a big half-time break, you're able to totally change tactics, you can slow things down, so many more moving parts that you have control over. Sevens for me a lot of the time just felt like it happened, it was gone, and you're like, well, did we win or did we lose? And during it is just carnage. As someone who's quite logical and I suppose likes to feel like you can not control things, but you know what I mean, like have a hand in certain things.
But also you want it to feel fair. You want
not controlling. But
you're analytical and
yes.
you are really big on fairness.
Yes.
Your moral compass is so set on the outcome needing to be something that's reflective of the game and also of form, which is really difficult in sevens. But even as a viewer, it's agony. I mean, it is absolute torture when you're really invested in a team because you never know what's going to happen. But that's also what makes it a really compelling viewing product.
Sure.
As a neutral, best sport in the world.
Yeah, agreed.
I agree.
If you support GB, I'm sorry.
Worst
we really take you on our journey. We really do.
Obsessed. Everyone was so invested in that last tournament, like trying to get that 8th place, obviously coming up against Brazil as well.
Class. And the boys that did it as well, just the
and
emotion.
the way they did it.
Yeah, just amazing.
15s, you know who's going to win most of the time. There's never like a shock. Like we beat Australia. No one would have ever thought we were going to do that, but we did it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas in 15s, it is normally the same people win. Like, you know the outcome of the game before it's even started. So it is fun.
Listen, Japan beat South Africa in a men's World Cup, so anything can happen.
True.
Even in 15's land.
God,
Speaking of Japan, Tokyo 2020 was completely different to Rio. I mean, you couldn't have had two more different Olympic experiences, I guess. And now Paris is just down the road. I'm still getting around the fact that it's like 2 hours by Eurostar from London to Paris. I cannot get how it's closer than
so quick.
Edinburgh is further. But so the experience in Tokyo, what do you feel like you learned about yourselves going to Tokyo and the disruption that you faced in the lead up to that Olympics? I really felt sorry for you guys because funding, what was the whole story? So you had funding cuts announced a year before the games. Then you had to fundraise and prepare for an Olympics amid the postponement of the Olympics by a year because of COVID. And then no one really knew whether those games were going to go ahead in the first place. So it's all of that insecurity layered on top of it, right?
Yeah, we used to live in Wales then, I think, when we got made redundant.
Yeah,
so
I was with Wales. It wasn't full time. I was teaching, but yeah.
Yeah, we were full time with sevens with England, and then they made us redundant with obviously COVID. And then I was sat at home, and then on the news it's like Tokyo Olympics is not going to happen. And I just remember.
Is that how you find out? Not through.
Yeah, I found it on the news.
On the news.
Yeah.
Guys, there should have at least been a message.
Yeah.
I guess nobody would have known.
It was just crazy. Like, we got told, you're going to have a 2-week break, you'll come back in, and we're going to prep for Tokyo. And we were like buzzing, we're like feeling good. And then, it was crazy. And then again, like, you're kind of like, is it going to happen? Is it not? And then even when it got said, it's going to happen, we still didn't really know what was going on, did we? So we were like, are we going to go back in? Like, do we start training again? Like, I was playing for Loughborough, doing some teaching, and then all of a sudden they're like, actually, we're going to start in March. So, like, can you be available? And
there was no World Series that year up until that point, was it?
Yeah.
So you're all coming in cold.
Yeah. And we were like, we're going to start in March, and there's 20.
We had like 4 months, didn't we?
No, 4 or 5 months. And that was the contract as well. You had a 5-month contract, and you're in, and just see what you can do.
But also the interesting thing about that, I think, is that obviously everybody in the world was going through a different
versions of this.
Versions of COVID, lockdown, what you could and couldn't do, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Obviously everybody's going to the same tournament with completely different prep.
From completely different places.
Yeah.
So break it down for me. You were teaching and you were with Loughborough.
Yeah.
And then you had to go to school?
Yeah, well,
and Loughborough and say, I just need 5 months to quickly go try and play the Olympics.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah, to be fair, they were actually really great, and they kind of knew. I was like, if it comes back around, I'll see you later. So they kind of knew I was already doing that anyway, and luckily for me, it was like near where our camps were based at Loughborough, so it was kind of, that was handy. But
that's handy.
But it was crazy, wasn't it? Like, own rooms, like you couldn't have dinner. We were sat on imagine like an exam hall, and like you'd eat your dinner and everyone would face the front. So if you wanted to talk to someone behind you, you'd have to you couldn't. You'd have to wait till you're like outside.
But
for
that
2
was
meters.
only
It was
dinner.
just
Breakfast and lunch had to have in our room.
in your rooms.
And you were only allowed out for like an hour and a half on the pitch.
Yeah.
Like, and they were so strict on it because like everything had to be recorded
Yeah.
and sent to above us.
Yeah, something like that.
So it was
To the cloud.
to the cloud.
Yeah, someone up there.
Big brother.
But it was crazy.
And when we trained in masks,
Yeah.
do you remember when we trained
Oh
in
my
masks?
goodness.
So
yeah.
it was a heat of summer as well. It
Yeah.
was really hot
No,
that year.
in Tokyo.
No, in England.
In England.
So they were like, because they want to replicate what's
Elma
going
just
to be
can't
like.
get her head around the fact that it was really hot here.
Sorry.
That's where she's
No,
struggling.
it was hot here.
Even here, the humidity in this
Yeah.
country is off the charts. In Tokyo, it's even worse.
Yeah, so we had masks on, we had hats on, we had all our layers on, and we had to train. If you pulled your mask down to breathe, they'd be like, pull your masks up. I'm sorry.
Yes, and we were.
Did
we
it
were
help
worried
us?
about-
Wait, did it help us?
Trying
No.
to drink through the mask. No, I'm joking.
Other people were complaining about mask acne, but you guys were like, listen.
And training on it as well. It's like, oh,
Oh, it was so
Was that
gross.
because you couldn't do the normal heat protocols with like being in a sauna and stuff like that?
yeah.
So that was the only
There
version
heat
that was-
spots, though, with the
Oh,
bike.
yes.
Oh my God,
When
they
you're on
were
your
like
own.
greenhouse. We had like a greenhouse thing with humidity and a
Yeah.
heater, and it was to do bike.
And you're on your own.
Like you only did like 20 minutes of it like that, but it was
No, it was intense. Do you remember
No,
doing it intense?
yeah.
Oh,
But
right.
it wasn't like
Jazz
if
got
you-
a different memo.
Just cruising
Jazz is in the
shop.
black ones that you
If
couldn't
you-
see through.
yeah. Just lying down.
If you did that session without being in the greenhouse, I think it would have been all right.
Yes,
But
okay,
because you were
fine.
in the greenhouse,
Yeah.
it was you died.
Yeah.
conditioning
It was
you
horrible.
for Tokyo summer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is
The
like not
humidity was
It was
unreal.
crazy.
Tokyo in September, October during the Men's World Cup was like Singapore on a good day. I can't
Yeah.
even imagine what it must have been like at the height of summer. And then also with all of these COVID protocols, it's just like that's really hard graft. It's tough
I
going.
think our first session out there was 42 degrees or something crazy. Yeah.
I remember everyone was taking
People die in
pictures
that.
of there was
The
like
thing.
a digital thermometer or something, wasn't
yeah,
there?
Yeah. And we had to
Amazing.
sit around a circle and was like, see,
Celia, sorry, this is
This is-
hilarious.
So everyone's like kind of mentioning what they're like worried about, like obviously what they're really excited about, whatever they want to talk about. Just sat in
Counselling
a
session.
Counselling session, basically snaps for everybody. And Celia's just like, I'm just so hot.
She was so broken.
She was broken. And no one is as hot as I am.
I'm hot as you. You're like,
I'm not as here.
why?
And we-
See, she was like, I'm the closest to the sun. Okay.
But she was crying. Like,
So you weren't going to be like, no, see, we're all just as hot as you. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah,
And then-
you are. You're right, Celia. You're right.
Bertie came into the toilet
Oh,
and was
Bertie.
like, I'm also hot. And then she went, yeah, not as hot as Bertie either.
We were all like, yeah.
To this day, we still take the mick out of her.
No, don't. Oh my god, that was
forgot about
It was
hilarious.
so, honestly, we bring it up all the time. We're like, it's all right, see, we're not as hot as you.
No, yeah. it brought light to the thing, didn't it?
It
We were all
did, it
giggling
did.
then.
Because we were like, don't talk about the heat, because it's going to be hot. And she was just like, I'm just so hot.
She did die. She did die in that session.
Bless her.
So funny.
I know.
Poor
no.
souls. So now, how little has the structure changed since 2020? How you're both still contracted to your clubs? You're contracted to Bristol Jazz,
No,
not?
no.
Ooh.
Oh, no, last season, I think she
Sorry,
was not
when?
contracted.
Now. Sorry, no. Haven't played Bristol for the last 2 years. Been
Okay.
fully sevens.
Okay.
And then just played Wales international, so double XV and Six Nations. Potentially next season.
That's
Looking-
embargoed.
Looking
TBC.
to well, no, looking to do 15s, so potentially for World Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you, Abbie, just fully
sevens.
fully sevens.
Fully seven.
But you guys don't have a media person, so I mean, it's
We did
quite
our own social media at the start of the year.
squad player run the whole
Oh.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely getting better. But
Yeah.
the start of the year and last year, we had one of the girls and one of the boys running our social media. Did a great job, actually.
Yeah, Shona doesn't know. She does do really well actually. Into
Yeah.
like all digital and stuff like that, so it's easy for her.
Looking at some clubs and their social media, sometimes I'm like, maybe the players should just.
Yeah,
be-
maybe that'll take charge.
Name them.
Name them.
Well, I'm not going to drag but there are examples that we can share on the WhatsApp group between us, and no one will screenshot. So because you guys sit outside of England, Wales, Scotland, because it's GB, how does that work? So who do you work for? I mean, what's your governing body?
I still kind of work for our own, so I'm still like employed by the RFU, and you're the same.
WRU.
So you're just seconded,
yes,
or what?
basically.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm asking all of these questions. I don't know if that's really boring.
No,
Scaz is like,
No, not at all. I think the thing with sevens, like when we first got contracts, we were full time. The pay was terrible actually, but it got to a point where it was doable.
We were national lottery, wasn't it?
We were in every day. We had this full support staff network around us, World Series, commies, Olympics, etc. Basically, after COVID hit, and obviously all the girls got made redundant, and this is my opinion, these guys probably can't say it, but it's never got back to those days. It's not seen as the same sport perhaps that it once was, or valued the same as a 15s game. There's just
in this country.
in this country.
In
sorry,
the UK.
yes,
I
in
find
the UK.
that wild.
Yeah. So like the girls, they don't have a media person, they do it themselves. They're part-time, they've only met 30, 40 days at all this year. In a
37.
That was
37
crazy.
days.
37 days in
Wait,
an
that doesn't
Olympic
include
year they've spent
tournaments.
together.
Does that include tournaments?
Not include tournaments.
That's
That's
just training days.
That's
here.
training days.
But how do you have a team?
That's a month. Sorry, that's just
Yeah.
over a month.
Yeah.
And we only go, when we go away, we only go away for 10 days.
Yeah.
And we've had, 6 tournaments?
Yeah, I
10
think
days.
before Dubai, we came off the
But
pitch and
also-
it was like terrible, and they were like, he was like, oh well, you know,
4
like, we've
days
only had 9 days together.
So
in
in
the last
your
4 months.
squad, sorry, my brain and maths is going wild right now. In your squad, because obviously not the same team is going to go to every tournament.
Yeah.
So how many actual training days will you have had as an Olympic squad? That's going to be next to minimal.
63. I reckon about 97.
Yeah, but in those in that time,
I love that. 10
sorry,
days.
Jazz, quick maths. Quick maths.
Just pulling a number out of
Go on,
thin air.
10 days
No,
per
sorry.
tournament.
My point is though, your Olympic squad is not going to be the same as any of the other
No.
squads that have gone away. So therefore, you've probably had 37 days training together. How many training minutes that will be, because your squad gets mixed up
Yeah.
every time you
Well,
train.
yeah,
time.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
And the amount, like, I'm in so much admiration for you guys and how you train, because you just go away, and while everyone else is doing their 9 to 5 back and forth because of their full-time programs, you guys are out literally running up and down a pitch by yourself all of the time.
Yeah.
And
That is
In gym
Sevens
sessions
running-
by themselves all of the time.
I think that's the bit is tough,
It's
isn't it?
insane. I hand on heart, I would not be able to do it. If that was my rugby life right now, I wouldn't be able to do it. It's too much.
But
It's tough.
sevens running as well is so savage.
I was going to say, it's the one sport where I feel like you just do need to suffer together, because it's a lot.
But there's only so much you can suffer on yourself. Do you get me? Like by yourself. Like when I'm doing my running sessions, I'm giving it 100%, 110%. But if I'm running next to Ab, I'm giving it 150. Do you know what I mean? So like it's like it's really hard doing it on your own.
It is hard.
You do lose the motivation to do it. We've got GPSs on, so we have to do it.
Yeah, that's in a bit now.
Oh,
my GPS died.
Can't put it on the dog.
Yeah.
Can't put it on all
no,
that.
God no.
I just think it's a real shame at the moment, not the state of sevens, but just like where we've got to. Like Mo and I, it's been such a huge part of our careers, lives, the reason we've got to perhaps where we've got to in a 15s game. Like it's you see in the men's game and in the women's game the value that playing sevens has in people's careers. I get really frustrated that it's not valued in this country, as we keep saying, in this country.
To be fair though, like in other countries, like speaking to players on the circuit, it isn't as big as we might think it is either. Like it actually isn't viewed as something that is like the best thing. It's always 15s first, and there's like oh you play sevens kind of thing. It's never like, oh, I play sevens and I do a bit of 15s. Like that's never really a thing.
But why make that sacrifice, both financially, but also because you guys are really talented? Like, I mean, you could just be...
Yeah, thanks.
I mean,
My
there's like, you have so many Jazz Joyce highlight reels on the internet and like a legion of fans. And Abbie, you are clearly so singular in the maturity and the level of ownership that you bring to your sport. I mean, I think it's really important for people to understand the kind of sacrifices you've made, but also the reasoning, like the why. Why do you do it?
It's a good question.
I think it's the enjoyment, is it? Like
I think for me it's like the girls massively. So we've got such a good group at the moment who just energy wise is the next level. Always bouncing off each other, always having fun, and actually even for me, when you're absolutely hanging out your ass and you have just played all the games.
Technical terms.
I was going to use something
Sevens
else, but I tried to, keep it down a little bit. But actually those are the moments that really bond you as a team, because you are grafting so hard for your best mate and you will just go and do it again like an hour later. Like, that's just mental. Like, why would you ever do that? But we do it and we keep doing it, and we go to, like, yes, we go to these amazing places, don't we, and play at some ridiculous stadiums. And I think this year's been pretty cool, actually. Like, with the men, it's been
was cool as well.
yeah, like a quality across kind of especially with the GB program, but with the men and the women's both being in the same places and traveling the world together, I think that's really cool. And actually it is on its rise. It's just kind of getting that recognition.
And I guess the Olympics, the opportunity as a rugby player to go play, I mean, you put in absolutely everything to make that, and I remembered, like, it's one of the first conversations I think we ever had was you saying, Mo, like, that was really important to you. Like, it's just such a sensationally big stage to go be on and play on.
Yeah, I think, like, in our careers, it was never an opportunity. Like, rugby sevens was never a thing.
Yeah.
So when it became a thing, like, you grow up, like, if you're sporty as a youngster, you grow up watching the Olympics, and it's literally everything. It's the pinnacle. And to have that opportunity to be able to go and represent something so much bigger than yourself. Like, I adored the GB, like, setup. Like, genuinely, at that time in my career, going into the Tokyo setup and the girls and just what that was for me in that time, like, I can't speak highly enough of it. And I think it's so important, like, culturally, to come together and to have those different aspects and different viewpoints, and to enjoy it in that sport, I think is massive. And sevens is just class. Like, it's such a great game. Like, the mental battle that you have to have, like, literally every game, moments in the game, when you're training, everything else that you go through, to be able to be like, no, I physically can't run anymore, and you're like, you can run, you can
That
keep going.
happened to me the other day in training.
You know what I mean? But, like, that mental side of it, I think that's why I loved it so much.
You have to love it to do it, don't you?
100%.
It's like that sadistic thing of, this is so hard, but oh my god, I love it.
This is objectively nuts. What I love the most about sevens at the Olympics is that I feel like it's the one platform where we really have to reach into audiences. So, like, the Ruby Tui moment at the Tokyo Olympics, where she gave that post-match interview that went absolutely viral and absolutely everywhere. The reason that got so much traction is because it was a lot of people who would never pay attention to a Seven Circuit event, and a post-match interview at a Seven Circuit event just wouldn't get that kind of cut through. I also love that there was a line ahead of playing New Zealand in the World Cup, Jazz, when you were asked about Ruby, and you said, when you were asked who's faster, you or her, what did you say?
I said me.
She said,
Truth.
She'd say me. I'd say me.
Go Jazz Joyce.
That's what you said.
That's what I said.
You said go Jazz Joyce.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every possible group I get rinsed for in Wales, they're like, go Jazz Joyce. So, like, people will text me now from, like, Wales being like, good luck for the weekend, go Jazz Joyce. I don't know what came out of my mouth. And then that was the part they clipped on BBC. I thought,
Go back yourself as well.
yeah,
love
well, we were playing them 5 days after. So I'm not going to be like, oh, Ruby Tui's faster. How was I? So
100%.
What?
Race.
Yeah, race.
A race you.
So I had to just back myself.
You have to.
100%.
Yeah.
And also, we have to thank the Olympic Games for giving a platform to someone like Ilona Maar, so that she could just reach into, like, a million different people's phones and just bring more people to the sport. I did also love her post about, I don't know if you've seen the stories, I'm sure you have, of the cardboard beds.
I'm pretty sure they were in Tokyo.
Yeah,
at the Paris Olympics. Did you have cardboard beds in Tokyo
Yeah,
too?
they were there in
So,
Tokyo as well,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I think that's why she
I was
did
about
it
to say
again,
that's how she started,
yeah. I think.
That was like one of her
I think
very
that's-
first
yeah,
things. And
was
then I
it?
think the
When you
reaction,
say
she
you
was
think-
like, okay.
I'm like 80% sure.
But so
I still
the
think.
cardboard
Promise
beds in 2020 would not have been a factor, because also you guys were all wearing masks and had to be isolated.
Yeah. I think once you're in, you're in. Like,
You're
it was like
in.
a bubble.
This is so loose.
But
Remember, you weren't allowed to leave. You weren't allowed to
yeah,
leave
then
the
we were on
village.
bikes. We went bikes
We
and we
went
went
bikes.
Our bags like that, glass.
Choking with alcohol.
Coming back
you
through
had
the put scanner.
We were like
You had
that.
to put your bags back through the scanner. So we've all been like, it was us three that went.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was.
This post playing, yeah?
Post-play.
Post play.
What an example.
Sorry.
Just exemplary
I just wanted
Scaz.
to, you know,
No,
we
we were
get
done.
any hate.
Basically,
Wanted it to
We
be clear.
grafted for 6 months for this moment.
We
Yeah.
did.
And then it's so funny because when you're at the Olympics, like you get to stay for a few days after, and like every night there's more and more people that have finished their events that just get absolutely battered down by the rings.
The pirate ship, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
The moose.
Oh my God.
No.
Canadian. No.
No, it's not.
But it was
Not to be
busy.
repeated, that one.
Busy. Really busy.
So the cardboard beds will not be a factor, just like Ilona said.
Oh, I think if people were going to do it, they're going to do it.
Yeah, regardless of the bed.
Regardless of the bed.
Like, who needs a bed
mattress.
anyway?
Yeah. Mattress on the
Yeah. You did get to choose whether you wanted soft or hard. The mattress.
Did you?
Yeah, you could flip it over.
Don't remember that.
Yeah, you could.
Jazz, that was
soft-
information to share,
Yeah.
honey.
So you told me and I was a roomie.
No, I didn't change it. Somebody told me you could. Yeah, if you change a mattress, it was the different pressure.
One of my favourite Jazz Joyce, I've got a few Jazz Joyce headlines. One of my other favourite one is when you got married last year to, and for those who don't know, the Butchers, her partner, her wife is Alicia Butchers. The headline read on Wales Online, Wales rugby internationals marry each other in stunning wedding ceremony. Each other, as in,
In case they weren't sure.
I was going to say, yes. Like, who else would they be marrying? Wales rugby internationals,
days.
more than one of them, married each other.
God, I didn't think of it like that, but that was funny.
It was great.
They tied the knot at the breathtaking, I don't know how to say the venue name.
But they weren't there. They don't know if it's breathtaking.
They don't know.
They might be right.
Was it breathtaking?
It was.
It was
amazing.
great.
Yeah.
And you can confirm you did marry each other.
I did marry Alicia, yes. I did. To confirm to Wales Online, yes, I did.
I love that
Yeah.
the visibility that you got out of the wedding story. There was even a special role to be played by their beloved cockapoo Nala, who carried the rings down the aisle in a little box attached to her collar.
She did.
They weren't there, and they had all of this.
No, they weren't there. Pictures,
I
maybe?
can't believe you didn't give him an exclusive.
Why?
Well, yeah, maybe.
What is
Like
the
an OK
Wales?
magazine.
Like an okay, yeah. Could have.
Could have got some money for that.
Well, I
Jazz.
could've-
Welsh version.
Money or people at my wedding, I don't know.
Fair enough.
I
don't
do
think they
you
should.
have a Simba dog as well, or just a Nala dog?
A Simba? No, sorry. Got what you mean from Lion King.
No, trying to give her the eye of like, come on, you've got this.
Go on.
Nala.
Jessie.
No, just Nala.
Just
We
a
did have
Nala.
a dog called Norman, but he died.
Oh.
I know. No, it's not.
Sorry, it's not funny.
We
It's
did
not
buy
funny.
him, and he did have a heart problem, so
Sorry, it's not funny.
he did
Why are
die.
you laughing, Abbie?
No, it's not funny. My dog died. He was ill anyway.
It's not the dog dying. Sorry.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
tell
fine.
that story.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Sorry, I'm also not laughing at your dog dying. I'm laughing because I'm a bit awkward and Abby's making me laugh.
Abbie is basically expiring. You need to tell us the story
Fine.
quickly.
So dog had just died, like heartbroken, like genuinely heartbroken. Me and Alicia were like, oh, gutted. I can't believe he's died. So we got ashes, cremated him.
Oh my God.
We cremated the ashes. So we put them in little pots like this. We twisted off. We put the ashes in. It's like a white powder. Twisted it back on. It was on my car keys. Dropped my car keys. Picked my car keys back up. Jonathan Davis then.
No, wait, where are you?
Sorry, I'm in the Principality Stadium. I'm in an event, like a nice event. I'm dressed really nice. Me and Alicia both dressed. We're going to do a talk in the like President's Lounge.
Yeah, nice.
Fairly important.
Sorry, but you carried around jars of your dog's
No,
ashes on
little
your...
one. A little one on my car key.
number one.
On my car key.
Did you make
I
was
missed
this
him.
handmade? So
Yeah.
like, did you order this from like Amazon? Like, how did
I
you
ordered
get
the
the jar?
pot from Amazon.
Right.
But I didn't
Amazon.
order Norman's ashes from.
No.
Fine, just
Just to got that bit.
So you decant the ashes into multiple small...
Just two. I had one, Alicia had one. The other ashes are just sat at our home. He's got like a shrine.
In what kind of pot?
Really not the point of the story.
Sorry,
We
no.
need to get to the end. It's very good.
Fine.
I really want to
So,
understand.
Dropped my keys on the floor. Didn't realise that Norman had obviously fallen off my car keys. So when Jonathan Davis goes, oh, what's on the floor, girls? Obviously I looked down and I was like, oh, it's Norman. He's come out of the pot. And I was like, oh, I don't know what it is. Alicia, do you know what it is? She was like, oh no, I don't know what it is. And then we were like, oh, okay. And then Jonathan Davis goes, oh, don't worry, girls, I got you. We were like, oh no, now do we tell him it's our dead dog?
That's rubbing into the car.
So Norman now is in our house, but as well he's
the
also in
Principality.
Principality Stadium. But then at this point, I didn't then know when to say, "Oh, it's not, it's my dead dog." I thought, what's worse? Walked off.
Guys,
And
That
that's
day
why I
was-
was laughing.
Yeah,
not the fact
fine,
it was
got
a
you.
dead
no, I
dog.
understood.
Got you. So,
Oh,
Principality has some of Norman.
Is this
Rest
Jonathan
his soul.
Davis Senior?
Yeah,
Senior?
yeah. So if he's listening, it's my dead dog.
And he still doesn't know.
Not paying.
Every time he sees you running like the wind on TV, goes, that Jasmine Joyce.
I know what she does.
I wonder how many people he's told. Oh, you'll never guess what, boys.
She does your shit.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
I could not have foreseen where this went.
No, well, I didn't know why you were laughing. I was like,
Sorry.
my dog's dying. Funny.
What have you got on your keychain at the moment?
No, he's in Principality. I didn't get another one then. I couldn't have another encounter of that. So I thought I better not get another one.
That
So
was just brilliant.
my keychain now just got a key actually now.
Just a
Story,
key.
Just a key.
Basic bitch. Good story.
Good story. Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Don't know where you go from that one,
I
but
was going to
No.
say I'm floored.
Yeah.
This is not the story I would have thought we
No.
would get today.
A lot happened that day.
Do we want to reflect on all of the nice pictures we have of you guys on set? This is honestly
cute.
this is
That
the
is
nicest
really
picture.
cute.
I wonder
So-
what we were laughing at, Mo.
Mo and Jazz absolutely dying in
Lolling.
their little Olympic shirts.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's really cute actually.
Yeah, it's cute.
Not sure about the headband on me. But
Yeah, what the hell?
What was this
Maybe it was the
headband
look then.
vibe?
No, I
Maybe
think
it
they
was the
gave it. I
Was
think
they
they
gave
gave
it?
it.
They give it us.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
the Adidas one.
But I didn't need to wear it.
No.
But someone gives you something.
You definitely shouldn't have.
I know. Maybe it was
It's a
sweaty.
thing, maybe.
So
Yeah.
it was. Maybe it
Tokyo.
was cool then. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you were really feeling it.
Maybe.
The scrunchy game has been strong
Lives
for
on.
a few years now, Mo.
That's a GB7s one.
What is Abbie the flag bearer? Where is that?
Oh, I'm over there.
Show me the flag bearer picture.
I'm not sure on the picture.
Should we get Scazzy next?
Of the
She's
leg.
feeling this.
This is a
bit?
this
Yeah,
is a picture
sorry.
taken here in the kingdom. Of Abbie holding up the flag behind her and raising one leg up in
Yeah.
front of her like she's going to hurdle. Talk me through what the photographer brief was.
Yeah,
He
actually,
just
did he
kind
tell you
of-
to do that?
No, obviously, I'm not going to do that myself. Am I?
So you never
Was
know.
he just like change pose, and then you just went,
Is it like doing the can? It's like halfway
No,
to the
he
can
said,
can.
put your leg up, it will look cool. And I was like,
your leg up.
oh, didn't look at that much.
Offsides things that photographers should not
Do
say.
this,
Put your leg up, it'll look cool.
do this, do that. I did all sorts.
Ooh.
Really. Oh God.
All sorts.
On the terrace.
Did it escalate?
Yeah, not my finest out of that photo, but
No, it's,
It was
gives
a
you a
cool-
bit of personality. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just
what
stood
personality
there.
is that giving me?
Speaking
Fun.
of-
I could dance.
That's-
Speaking of
that would have no
personality, I think we've got a winner.
Oh, we have to. This is peak. Our
Pete.
Emily Scarra.
It's just Pete.
I do look like a
was banging
Pete.
out.
I do look like a Pete. This is Pete.
She will forever be known as Pete from now on.
The Beyonce of rugby when she played sevens.
It's a lack of hair in that photo. Pete. Bold. It was a long
Talk us
bold,
through this,
Elma.
Pete.
I don't know. She's ignoring that comment.
Come on, Becky, with the good hair. What happened here?
It's just a different time of my life. I can't explain it. I was still working the quiff. You said very nicely earlier that I've grown into my face
Yes.
since that picture. So
Talk to me about the quiff. For those younger members of the audience
that don't know what that is.
that literally did not live through the quiff the way the rest of us
Well,
did.
I think it basically started when you were growing your fringe out. When you had a
Were
fringe.
you ever growing your fringe out?
At one point
Did
in my
you?
life. Question mark. Because we're getting onto that.
We all had the Katie Daly McLean fringe.
Yeah. So then when you started to grow it out, but maybe you were exercising, you're like, right, let's get that out of the way. So a little twist and just the push back was essential.
The bobby pin.
to give it the volume.
Yeah.
And then bobby pin in. And then I think my fringe was then as long as the rest of my hair, yet still quiff, push, pin. It was quite a long time
It was
actually. I
giving.
went with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was me all through uni. The quiff was,
Mm.
I mean, we absolutely blazed all over the place. You were much more
Steady. Go on.
You looked quite hench here.
Ooh,
Strong.
Will I let myself go then?
No, I'm just like, that's like, you are very, but also there was a
You're
picture
just
of,
eating protein. This is protein
This
beef
is
over it.
Protein beef.
but maybe it's because you were really skinny and you're like, you look really defined.
I would have probably been
That would be
at least
peak.
4 kilos lighter than I am
Yeah.
now. Yeah, probably.
Pistol Pete.
Yeah. Yeah. Sevens was the time for that.
Yeah.
Powerful Pete.
Go on, keep
Protein
them
Pete.
coming.
What else
Listen,
you
No,
got?
protein peak.
Protein
Well,
peak's
I
best
say.
one, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was key for us to learn a lot about that side of life, actually.
Now, looking back on it, obviously you can go, we've learned from the experience. We are excited about seeing Antoine Dupont coming into the Sevens scene because he's going to be attracting a lot of attention. Ilona's bringing all 1 million of her TikTok followers into it. Ellie Kildan maybe bringing some of the Six Nations energy and the performance standards that she set there into the Sevens. How did she fare?
Yeah, definitely. I think she's learning the game again. I think definitely, but it's great to have her in camp. Like you say, like she brings so much people. I mean, don't get me wrong, she was class in Six Nations. So the people that follow rugby now going to follow her then, which hopefully she brings all of those people in from Six Nations and the performances she's been putting on during the Six Nations period. So yeah, it's going to be great to have her and her fans follow us.
Her fans.
Yeah.
She's really quick.
Like a whole audience
Yeah.
slice there. But you and Rona and Ellie now all are making your way back in from 15s into 7s. How long does it take to basically just wrap your head around what's different about the structure and how things work?
Yeah, there was a couple more as well, the girls that have transitioned back over from 15s. Not too tough for me and Rona, maybe the same as Ellie, because similar positions, so we're on the edges anyway, but Tomo, Lisa Thompson and Kaylee, they're very different positions then coming back in, so I think it is a little bit more difficult for them, but the same skills, same attributes you need to play rugby. It is just wider spacing, so just learning to defend and attack with a bit more space. But
It's
yeah,
the folding for me. So like in defence, in 7s, we want to be like, this is going to be really noisy, really high, staying high. But instead of being high, they just kind of fold behind you. So they sit behind you and then the space is like gone. And you're like, where you gone?
I meant
But
it's
because
sweet.
in 15s used to like folding around the breakdown or whatever. Yeah, that's been quite
It's- yeah.
entertaining. It's to watch.
it's fun. But yeah, it's really not that different for me anyway.
And Meg coming back into, I absolutely lived for Meg's stories when she was wagging like an absolute
She's so
pro.
funny.
Do you know what crazy me about that? That was obviously the first time she'd been left alone.
Yeah.
Like,
She
she'd been
hated
with
it.
people the whole time. And she was on her own for like 3 hours. She was like, right, lads, what can I do?
You guys co-captained.
Yes.
So which of the duties are the Meg duties and which of the duties are the
lot.
Abbie duties? What does Meg do as a co-captain?
the title.
Energy. She brings the energy, doesn't she? Not that you don't, but
yeah.
that is probably
Brings
her.
the armband.
Yeah.
We like to say we're like yin and yang, the both of us. I guess I'm more the empathetic kind of one of the two of us, and she's more to the point, kind of those standards and the professionalism and all that kind of stuff.
She's like cry on the inside like a winner.
Yeah. But no, I think we have a great balance, and we have done for many years. And even when we weren't co-captains, we naturally had that kind of relationship anyway. So yeah, it's good to have her back around and the energy she brings.
You guys got bronze in Perth, and if you look at the points standings at the moment, it is just astounding where New Zealand, Australia and France are all like 126, 124, 104. And then there's this big gap to USA 4th, Canada 5th and Fiji 6th. What is it that they are putting into their programs that gets them that far ahead of the pack? As Scazzy's just going money.
Money
in the
leaves
air
Time
there.
as well, isn't it? What
And consistency. Like, this is
Time.
the first time I think in my whole career I've had the same squad for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So like, you're never going to build consistency. Like, that New Zealand team have been together for ages and they've just had a few people drop in and out, and that's how you do it. Similar to the Oz guys, like Kazlik has been around for ages as well, and like things like that. Actually, they've not got a whole brand new team, which we literally had, especially with England. We just turned over the amount of turnover players and even staff, the amount of like coaches I've had. Like, it's just ridiculous.
It's a new program as well, rather than like
yeah.
it's a completely new program, especially going from England, Wales, Scotland to then a GB program, and like it is just starting afresh.
Yeah.
Whereas they must have been together for 8.
The
Yeah.
continuity they've had has
It's
been
crazy.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I reckon if you looked back at their 2016 teams or even before then, I know obviously Gossie's been injured, but
Yeah.
Gossie, Tyler, Blyde, Portia, some of their like the big names that always feature, Kelly, Brazier, like they're still there and they've been there the whole way through. If anything, they've dipped out to play 15s, whereas
But on
for
like just a tournament, not for the
just
whole
a tournament.
Yeah.
Whereas we've probably always done it the other way around, and you've dipped into 7s.
Yeah.
And then,
And they've got like a development team. So like in Dubai, we obviously had just our team, and the Aussies had like a development Australia team, and we were like, how have you got like this many people and people back at home that missed out? So, you know, you're trying to compete with people that have got 3 times more numbers than you.
Then player pool is just a joke.
And also when like youngsters are coming up and playing the game and 15-7s doing bits and bobs, and they're seeing the girls ripping on the World Series, winning Olympic medals,
Yeah.
winning Commonwealth
Yeah,
medals.
you're like, give me
they're like,
Yeah,
I want a piece of that.
Yeah.
I forget her name. Georgie
Miller.
Georgie Miller, yeah.
Georgie Miller.
Yeah.
She's ridiculous,
She's
and is she
crazy.
even 20 years old yet?
I think
Like
just,
People like her, like she's had Portia to look up to probably the whole time
Yeah.
she was growing up, and it's been so visible and so in front of her. Like, why would you not want a piece of that?
Yeah.
So you
I
guys
agree.
at the moment are an 8th. Why is that
We got there.
important?
Just about.
Why is that important?
to be on the World Series next year.
You are literally
essentially,
playing.
So this in Singapore, both the men and the women were basically fighting out to make sure essentially we had jobs next year. And it is as brutal as that. And obviously we had another shot if you didn't make top 8 in Madrid, but it was like you play like a one-off game. And as 7s, as we know, like a one-off game can literally go any way. So us and the boys, luckily, both did it. And I don't know if people really saw it, but the emotion that the whole programme had after Singapore was just nuts. Like people that you wouldn't expect to be crying were just absolutely crying, like all our staff. I think just because it means we have security for next season, and we have the sponsorship, we have a programme, we have something to still hold on to. And this is the bit where I feel now we have to push on. Like we can't just be scraping at 8th anymore, and hopefully we're getting more investors and the actual time it needs, because we need to be able to be fighting with those top teams rather than just scraping by every year.
I think that's the point. Like the investment needs to come in now. Someone needs to come in and be like, I want a piece of this. Like this sport is unbelievable. Like the girls, everything they've been through is class, and the boys, but they need somebody to take a hold of it and have full-time training camps, be able to
That's
train
the
like
thing,
week in, week out, not just once a month and run on your own, because like you said, mentally that is so draining.
So what are we realistically aiming for in Paris, considering all of the conversation that we've had until now? Like, what is the talk going into that for you guys?
I genuinely think like I would never go into Olympic Games having expect anything less than a gold medal. And I think with 7s, it literally is anything can happen. In a quarter-final, say we hit someone like Australia, we've played them, we've beat them. It's 50-50 at the moment. Like, we need to beat New Zealand. Like, there is one game on it, quarter-final, then you're in playoffs. So it is on one game. Like, and anything can happen then. So, I mean, a goal would be nice. So take every game as it is, I guess, isn't it?
You got to go for gold, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like, there's just no... I think we've got it in us, and I think
100%.
it shows when we play certain games. There's some games, like that Australia game, we keep going back to it, and even the USA game in Cape Town, like we had 9 training days, and we almost went into a semi-final in our second tournament. Like, that is crazy. Yet these girls we're competing against have been together for 4 months. So it's anything can happen, and that is the beauty of 7s. And I think, we'd be stupid not to go in for a gold.
Yeah.
And you guys have so much talent in your line.
Yeah, we do.
And you also, I think you can take heart from performances of teams like Canada, who are in the 15s game doing things they have no business to be able. I mean, these are girls who are self-funding and fundraising like their entire rugby career.
That's crazy.
Beating the Black Ferns, the USA beating the Wallaroos, ranked 5 places higher than them on the world rankings. I mean, even in the 15s games, we are especially in the women's game, we're seeing teams doing, like the almost unbelievable. So you do have to just take heart from that kind of performance and say, well, if that's possible, bring on the upsets.
Bring on the
pull them off.
Olympics.
Bring on the Olympics.
Can we talk about that Black Ferns loss, though? What did you make from it?
I think first time ever beaten New Zealand.
Beating New Zealand in New Zealand.
And then adding that on is ridiculous. Crazy. Like, we've been there numerous times. It's arguably one of the best places ever to play rugby because of the tradition and everything that goes along with playing rugby in New Zealand. Phenomenal result for them. I think they've shown over the last probably 10 years that they're a nation in the women's game that has really good pedigree in spats, whereas actually this arguably now could be that all of that kind of coming together with a real consistency. Loads of their girls are playing proper rugby in the PWR consistently. We've never questioned their athletic ability. That has never been a problem, but it's probably been like the rugby piece, yet they're playing more rugby than ever. It's a bit of a scary prospect, to be honest.
When we had Kendra Coxedge on the show, she did tell us the white kit is unlucky.
And that.
Proven again.
Did you hear one of they were doing something pre-match, either the shirt presentation or something, and I think it was Ruhe, was it? She was saying something and she was like, even in the white kit, like, best of luck to us all tomorrow. And then obviously and I was like, oh my god.
Can they just get a different alternative strip? Can someone just make
just something
can
different.
we just come up with a different colour, please?
I
Because
reckon
this
it's good.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the white.
Yeah.
You're like, bring it on. Black
The
friends
only
in a white
problem we
kit.
have is we
We
never
play in
play
white.
them in the white
Yeah.
because we're white.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would never. Well, I mean, unless you guys play in your red.
We could play in the
play in the red.
Imagine.
Yeah,
it's funny.
secondary strip game coming up. Let's please get one of those. So Pac Fern friends, Australia going down to the USA.
Sorry, what? The pack fern?
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were just kind of like putting the
Pack
two
four or
together,
black
and I just
fur?
thought,
I just
pick one. That's fun.
my English bundles are running out. Okay, Australia 25, USA 32. Discuss, Mo.
Madness. Australia
Madness.
looked really dominant for a lot of it, but then the USA just came back into it. And very impressive. I think you've almost seen like a bit of Australia under Joey App, and I was so rooting for her to just go and absolutely smash it. Massive result for USA. Like they needed that because they've been
They're
on the
good
back
for it
of
too.
a couple of pretty harsh results, haven't they, in the Pac 4? But
Also girls who just make huge sacrifices to be playing the game at the international level. Shall we give our guests some of our GSR marketing material
Have
for
you
them
got
to
it?
take
Nice.
along to Madrid
have I got it? It's my thing.
and show
Sorry.
off?
I thought I didn't know if it was my job.
Thank you, guys.
No pressure, GSR scrunchies.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Like
very
to see
much.
you
You must
Madrid.
wear them all the time.
Not really a
will.
scrunchy
Like we
gal,
do.
but I'll wear it on my wrist.
Tag us.
I love it.
Alma, we have got one for you. I say we don't have it for you. We have been given it by somebody else. It's a letter and something else. So I need you to read the letter and maybe look at those.
Oh wow, so many what is happening, guys? Oh, there's a picture of Sharifa Kasolo here.
Yeah.
And
there's the
then
letter.
oh wow. Dear Mrs. It's addressed at the Mrs. Then you know it's really serious. Dear Mrs. Alma Maspro, dear Mrs. Maspro, re-portrait. When I retired from international business a few years ago, I started painting as a hobby. And I've had some success. I've exhibited with the Royal Society of British Artists, painted the Queen,
Yeah.
and had a personal thank you note and used my art to raise money for charity, notably the Royal Voluntary Service, St Mungo's and SSAFFA. I only have to paint what catches my attention.
Yee.
And since I'm a huge fan of women's rugby and Saris in particular, I've painted several of the players. Oh, that's why Sharifa's here.
Yeah.
Okay, since you've done so much for the women's game, I've done nothing. I thought I'd try a picture of you. Go Saris, go Roses, and go the women's game. So much more generally entertaining than the men's oversized game nowadays. Regards, John.
So before I give you
he's-
this,
Oh, go on.
what's your surname?
Maspro.
Did we know that? Did we? I don't know if I
What
knew
did you
that.
think it
That
was?
is- it's my-
Kabama?
Yes, my real surname is Kapalma.
What's your Insta?
So I work under my maiden name.
What's your Insta? I don't
My
understand why
Instagram
this
handle
is
is
funny.
Alma Kapalma.
Yeah,
But that's just a nickname.
right.
Did you think Kapalma was my surname?
Alma Capella. What? Sorry. In my defence, why would you have not your like? Why is that funny?
Why have you got
What's it
hunting?
about-
Hunty's not your surname.
Yeah, it's also my handle, not my actual name on Instagram.
Alma Kapalma is my handle.
It's not your name.
What?
Hunty
Does
what?
it say Sparrow? Was it?
I didn't even get it.
Alma Kapalma is just a nickname.
Yeah. I get it now, but why would I know that? My point is. I wasn't at the wedding. I I'm not Wales Online. So anyway,
when Rich and I married each other, his surname is now on all of my documentation.
amazing. So you could have that on the back of your shirt. Love that
I
for
would
you.
be Mrs. Masbro.
On your passport.
Yes, on my passport.
Yeah. Right.
Lucky
Anyway,
you.
he's
Sorry.
painted the queen. Now he's painted our queen.
Our queen is serving.
Oh wow! No way, guys! I can't believe that. That is very big. I want to put it a little further away from me. Wow, John.
Look at your eyes.
John, that's very nice of you.
Well, John, are you bold?
Well, John.
Wow.
Amazing.
I would just like to put it on the record that compared to everyone else on the set, I have done absolutely nothing for the women's game, but I'm really happy that they let me in the door. And John, thank you very much. It's
Very
so
good.
kind
Nice.
of you.
Sorry, but I also rate that he's got his business card
And
on
his
the back.
business card.
So you should have put a photo if you were bald.
John
Like
Henry
Abbie said.
Aylward.
Oh, yeah.
Aylward. Portraits of loved ones, important places and events.
That's
John,
so
thank
nice.
you.
Good hair.
You just have a look at the
Great
other
hair.
portraits as well.
Yeah, this was a previous life when my hair was a lot longer. Wow.
There we are.
Serving.
I'm a little stuck.
Oh, she's going red again.
This escalated. Wow, John, thank you very much. And a note, and he signed it and everything. Best of luck in Madrid.
Thank you.
We're so
Thank you.
excited to be here to cheer all of your efforts. And thank you for making the whole of your GB following proud and for flying the flag.
Well, it's just our parents.
No, it's not.
No,
there's
Joking,
many
sorry.
of us.
Jokes.
No. And I'm so glad we finally got the opportunity to celebrate you guys and how hard you work.
No, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you
It's
very
been
much.
fun.
Thanks for having us.
Come on,
Thanks,
the GB7s
Get it,
girls.
girls.
Get it, girls.
Get it.
Go,
We are
Jazz.
the Good, the Scaz and the Rugby, brought to you in partnership with Vodafone. The Good, the Scaz and the Rugby is a folding pocket production produced by Shara Kilgallen. I'm still a bit stunned by this painting. Stop doing that.